Officialskills.sh is one of those launches that lands right in the middle of a real problem. Agent skills are suddenly everywhere, but most people still discover them through random screenshots, loose gists, or giant repos with no clear trust signal. Osman's post cuts straight at that pain. The pitch is simple. Take the long-running awesome agent skills repository, put a real interface on top of it, and make the source obvious. The site is not pretending to be magic. It is a directory for official skills from product teams, plus hand-picked community work, and that framing matters. In this video, I'm going to break down the launch clip, the live site, the skill detail pages, and the GitHub repo behind it, so we can see whether this is just a nice landing page or the start of a real discovery layer for the skills ecosystem. Start with the launch post itself. The tweet says they have been maintaining an agent skills collection on GitHub since the early days of the skill concept, and now they have added a simple UI at officialskills.sh. The rest of the copy is the real positioning. Curated official agent skills from dev teams and companies. No AI slop. Only real maintained skills. Then there are a few useful tells. The visual language borrows from the Versal skills table. The install flow sticks with the existing npx skills command instead of inventing another tool. And they are already thinking beyond engineers, toward designers and what they call vibe coders, especially around design.md. So even before we touch the product, the thesis is clear. This is about trust, discoverability, and fast installation, not just collecting markdown files in one more repo. Now look at the homepage. The first thing that works is the combination of a strong headline with actual proof. Official agent skills is the promise. But right next to it, the site shows quick stats. 40 dev teams, 11 categories, 314 official skills, 150 community skills, 464 total skills at the time of capture. That instantly tells you this is not an empty shell. Then the page anchors the directory inside the current agent landscape. You can see names like Claude Code, Codex, Cursor, GitHub Copilot, OpenCode, and more. Under that, there is a strip of vendor identities and then the searchable skill index. This matters because it changes the experience from browsing a repo to browsing a product. The site is doing packaging work the repository alone cannot do. It tells you where to start, how broad the catalog is, and which vendors are actually represented before you ever click a result. The next layer is discovery. In the launch clip and on the live site, the Find Skills area is the most important product surface. On the left, you get a provider filter with counts. In the main pane, you get a search bar and a ranked list of skills. And the results are not vague labels. They show the skill name, the namespace, and a short explanation of what the skill actually does. That sounds obvious, but it is a big usability upgrade over digging through repo folders manually. You can scan across providers like Anthropic, Microsoft, Cloudflare, MongoDB, DuckDB, and others, and immediately see concrete things such as accessibility, agent SDKs, algorithmic art, or Atlas stream processing. For a developer, this is the difference between hearing that a skills ecosystem exists and actually finding something installable in a minute or two. The interface turns a repository into a navigable catalog, and that is probably the most valuable part of the whole launch. The best proof that this is not just a pretty browse page is the individual skill detail view. The launch clip drills into MongoDB's Atlas stream processing skill, and that page is a strong example of the product model. At the top, you get an install command using npx skills add with the repo URL and the exact skill name. Right below that, the page explains what the skill does, when to use it, and then lets you open the skill.md file itself. That is the right abstraction. A directory page gives you confidence, but the detail page gives you execution context. You are not just seeing marketing copy. You are seeing a workflow, source linkage, and enough depth to judge whether the skill is worth installing. If agent skills are going to become normal development infrastructure, this kind of page is what makes them legible. It shortens the path from discovery to trust to actual use. Then there is the repository underneath everything. The awesome agent skills repo is doing more than acting as a backend content store. It is the proof layer. In the README, the maintainers explicitly position the collection against bulk-generated skill dumps and call out real-world skills created and used by actual engineering teams. The repo also shows just how wide the coverage is. Anthropic, Google Gemini, Versal, Stripe, Cloudflare, Netlify, Trail of Bits, Sentry, Expo, Hugging Face, Figma, OpenAI, Microsoft, MongoDB, and a lot more. You can see official sections, contributor count, long tables of providers, and concrete skill examples instead of generic category pages. That combination matters. The website gives you speed, while the repo gives you auditability. And the launch clip smartly ends by opening the underlying GitHub tree for the same skill page, which makes the whole loop clear. Browse on the site, inspect the skill, then verify the source where it really lives. So my read is pretty simple. Officialskills.sh is valuable because it fixes discovery without hiding provenance. It does not replace the repository. It makes the repository usable. The best product decision here is that every polished surface still points back to source, install command, and real maintainers. If this team keeps improving search, expands support for design-oriented workflows, and keeps the quality bar high, this could become the default front door for skills across coding agents. Not because it invents a new standard, but because it makes the existing ecosystem easier to trust and easier to use. The raw materials are already here. A real repo, real maintainers, real skill pages, a working interface. That is more convincing than hype. If you want, the site is officialskills.sh and the repo behind it is voltagent/awesome agent skills on GitHub.